person. Let's go around the room quick, do a quick roll call, starting with Joel.
Joe Eichstead, City Engineer.
Paul Vollert, Public Works Superintendent.
Sherry Evanson, District 5.
Dennis Pollock, 6th Ward Alderman.
All right, thank you, everyone. We will call this meeting to order. It is 5:01 p.m. Item number 2, review the Engineering and Street Department monthly activity report. Paul, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So the report, like I say, I apologized earlier. It was in my outbox, so I handed you guys all hard copies. Otherwise, it's sent to you electronically today. Our construction projects are still kind of going on. We're in the process of working on the bike trail off of 2nd Avenue, part of the Lions Park levee project. We're finished grading the Fremont Street from 10th to 7th with hopes of getting that paved first part of next week. 9th Avenue from West Grand Avenue to High Street, we still have to do the restoration work, but we're using this unforeseen good weather to try to get some more paving and things like that done. Otherwise, all the remaining of the projects are completed for the year, except for the 9th Avenue project from High Street to Fremont. That's getting pushed to next year construction season. Our maintenance activities, we continue, like I say, with this unforeseen good weather. We were out on A Street doing some asphalt patches on the median here in the first part of the week. We're working with our local contractor that re-cleans the seal coating chips that we had in excess. We worked with the wastewater treatment plant in loading out their sludge drying bed for the fall of the year. We completed the first yard waste pickup last week, and then next week we will be doing our second yard waste pickup. For those that are listening, if you have bags at the curb, make sure you call into the city garage to get that put on the list. And they need to be craft bags. We also had the county in doing some paving of some paver patches on sanitary sewer repairs that we did. Our sign shop, just to mention, Sean Lockman, who was our group lead for 12 years, chose to take a position within our work group. So we are currently advertising for that position, but obviously we lose some expertise that is there that'll be somewhat hard to initially replace. So just wanted to recognize that. Otherwise, we continue to change the banners from seasons and then get together or get our Christmas decorations ready and things like that in the downtown area. And then every 2 weeks we have to change the hours of the compost sites just to make sure that we are meeting the hours of daylight and things like that. So as far as our shop goes, the shop has been busy trying to get as much switched over to winter maintenance activities as possible. And they continue to do police and fire fleet maintenance as well as our own routine maintenance as they're getting that other stuff switched over. That concludes everything that I have in my report. I just wanted to mention one thing. On Tuesday, we lost a retiree from the city, Pete Hendrickson. He was at wastewater for 20 plus years, and he passed away due to fighting a battle for a little bit, but huge loss to the city as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks, Paul. Any questions for Paul? Hearing none, we'll move on to Joel, Engineering.
For the month of October, just quick update on the signal grant along the expressway. Those plans and bidding documents are being revamped, and we should be advertising again here next week with an expected bid results at the December Public Works Committee meeting. In addition, signal complaints for the month, of course the biggest one being at 2nd Avenue and Expressway with the signal cabinet being damaged from an accident last Thursday, October 27th. Some of the precautions that we had taken in Public Works had gotten message boards put out notifying traffic along the expressway of the outage and to use caution. That evening, I reached out to the DOT to see if they had any equipment available to us that we could use along with our traffic equipment supplier to get a new cabinet ordered and built. Fortunately, it did arrive today. They got it up and running, and everything is live again at that intersection. On Monday, we were able to get red flashing lights reinstated at that intersection, which I believe helped quite a bit. In addition, we've had some complaints at Chase Street and Expressway. So we're looking into that. Waterworks and Lighting Commission and their electricians taking a look at any malfunctions. And then we've also had a few different instances of observing that intersection, trying to find out what might be going on there. Related to final work for the year, I think Paul may have mentioned work on the levee project in Lions Park. So that's ongoing. In addition, we are finalizing designs for 2023 construction projects. So we're looking good with those and should be wrapping those up here in the next month or so. And then in addition to that, finalizing, while the weather's still good here, finalizing surveys for both Lincoln Street and Wiley Street projects, which are both 2024 construction projects. And Lincoln Street should be done here by end of day tomorrow, and we'll start Wiley Street then next week. We finalized the illicit discharge detection, illicit discharge and detection of our outfalls for stormwater permitting. By our permit requirements, we're supposed to test, sample and test a variety of those every year. And so we're just wrapping up that activity and documenting that for our next annual report. And then just a quick update on the rail study. There's currently 2 locations, one at West Grand and the Expressway, and then the other, I believe, at Gaynor Avenue, where a data collection trailer is parked, capturing data both on the traffic and on the train traffic. So vehicle and train traffic at those locations. That's probably going to continue for another week or so, and then that consultant will continue to work through that information and providing a result back to the city. And then in October, the street department was able to, along with the city's concrete contractor, get the 32nd Street pedestrian crossing installed and operational. There's a picture of that installation in the packet, and so that project is substantially complete. We've got the Baker Street ped crossing, which is, I guess, in the works and being scheduled to be done here in the next week or two. And then, of course, West Jackson Street opened last Friday, October 28th, and there's a few things that will need to be completed as the equipment arrives, such as the street lighting and some of the signposts that they'll be installed or expected to arrive and then installed after mid-November. And then sod installation then will occur next spring. And that wraps up my report.
Thanks, Joe. Any questions for Joe? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 3, review the no parking ordinance on Bryanwood Ave, the north side from Lincoln Street to the west city limits, and consider removal. Joe?
So just in the review of kind of constant housekeeping activities with reviewing existing signage and ordinance language, this section of street was identified as having parking regulations in the ordinance. However, there are no signs that are currently in place, and so the question was raised as if we need signs installed at this location. I would speculate that there isn't a need at this time and hasn't been for quite a number of years. Maybe at one time there was, but it seems to have been many years since a parking issue has actually required some parking regulations. And so the two options that are available are either removing the parking restrictions from the ordinance or adding the signage out there on the street. I guess the request would be that, based on all the information that we have to date, and that no signs are out there currently, is that the ordinance restriction be removed.
Thank you, Joe. Questions or comments by committee?
I'd make a motion to remove the no parking restriction.
We have a motion.
Yes.
I'll second. Oh, Dennis got me. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, we'll move to vote. All in favor, respond with aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Moving on, item 4, review a preliminary resolution for public work and improvements on 14th Ave North between West Grand Ave and Fremont Street proposed for construction in 2024. Joe?
So this project is included in the 5-year CIP for 2024. And again, we've done a couple of these the last 2 months now, but the preliminary resolution's basically a milestone approval to notice the public of this upcoming improvement, as well as to begin survey work. And so there is a draft of the preliminary resolution in the packet. It includes all of the parcels that would be impacted by the project, as well as a scope of what's included as far as improvements go. And the action that we would be asking for is that the preliminary resolution for public works improvements on this street be approved.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions or comments?
I'd make a motion to approve.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to vote. All in favor, respond with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Item 5, review a preliminary resolution for public work and improvements for 15th Ave North between West Grand Ave and High Street, proposed for construction in 2024. Joe?
So again, a very similar item, almost identical. It is in the 5-year CIP. And then there is a draft of the preliminary resolution that's included. And again, it's for a full reconstruction, and all of the parcels that would be impacted are identified. And we'd be asking for approval of the preliminary resolution for this street.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions or comments by committee? And I'll second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. All in favor, respond with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Item 6, review the referral list. So, item 10, review the bid results for the West Riverview Expressway traffic signal. Is that something you think we should keep on there, Joe, considering we're looking at maybe trying to get a different funding option with a different intersection, or that is active still, right?
It is active. We plan to bring that back at the December committee meeting with the bid results.
Okay. Item 12, request from myself to discuss the beer and wastewater agreement. I think we can strike that one. I think that's in the proper channels, and I don't believe Public Works is gonna be in need of a special meeting for that, so let's go ahead and strike 12. Everything else, I believe, is current. Are there any referrals to speak of out there? Dennis?
Yeah, thank you. I just have a couple questions on them. On that very first one, that request from Tom Rayom on 8th Street South, what do you want to do with that? Or does Tom have any ideas what to do?
The consensus and my feeling on it is that we leave it because it's a very important issue. It's been an issue for quite some time. And in my mind, top of the list is a great place for it. 8th Street is in disrepair, to say the least. And commitments from the state to do any type of construction in that area are quite a ways down the road. So I think this raises the awareness of the importance of that project, and
You know
I'd like to leave it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not speaking against it, it's been on here, I think you've answered the concerns that probably people would have, so.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yep, no problem.
Then the other one that I had one other one here too, that's on number 11 here. And that's, on Second Avenue, something on Lion Street, putting in colored stamped concrete. Is there anything, can that be taken off? What's the deal on that one?
Go ahead, Paul.
So what that is when they reconstructed Second Avenue back in, I believe it was 2006, 2007, in the boulevard area from Lion Street to the roundabout, there's brick pavers that are put in there, and the contractor didn't do a very good job of compacting the gravel, and so the brick pavers had settled in some places 1.5 to 2 inches, and Alderperson Zacher had just gotten a request from someone that lives in that area to remove those brick pavers and either replace them with colored and stamped concrete similar to like what we have on West Grand Avenue or something else. It's not something that we had budgeted to do. And so we're virtually just looking for a time to do it. And I guess part of it would be is what is appropriate. Is it appropriate to just put blacktop in there, or is it appropriate to do colored and stamped concrete? So I think that's something for future over the next few months that we can decide for the spring on how to tackle that.
Yeah, obviously, there's no big importance on doing it, so, okay. Paul, thank you.
Is there any repercussions on, I mean, I know obviously it's way too late now, but I mean, are there any repercussions when we take the lowest bid, like that probably was, and it fails years down the line?
I don't think there's any way that we can go back on it. No, if that's what you're asking, yeah, I mean, that's 15 years ago. It's probably well over its life expectancy.
Right, thank you.
So what I'm hearing is this is potentially something that you guys would eventually get onto an agenda when you figure out what we're doing with it, or do we need to put pressure on it to get it onto an agenda, or?
Yeah, I guess we can, we can get on the next agenda, be fine.
Is that agreeable? Okay. Anything else? Joe?
I did receive one today. It came through Mr. Bemke from a property owner on 14th Place South for the installation of street lighting at 14th Place and Whitrock Avenue. So I shared the street lighting policy with Mr. Bemke and then added it to the referral list then for December, but wanted to bring it up this evening.
All right. Referrals have been covered. Let's go to item 7, set the next meeting date. What do we have here? Looks like December 8th. Is the council chamber available, Joe?
Yes, it is.
All right.
5 p.m.
Do we need a motion?
Motion to set the next meeting for December 8th in council chambers at 5 p.m.
And I'll second. Any other discussion? All right. We'll vote. All in favor, respond with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. And item 8, adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor, respond with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.